Household income expense account. A household income expense account suits general people to record incomes and expenses both in their households and from their professions. Its 5 main elements are Part 1. Day, month, year. Part 2. Description. Part 3. Incomes. Part 4. Expenses. Part 5. Total amount of the ended month. How to record day, month, year. 1. Write date, month, and year that you earn and spend money. For example, you started the account on the 27th of October, 2005. How to record description. 2. Description. Write the details of incomes and expenses, such as on the said date. For example, on the 27th of October, 2005, you received the wage from repairing a house, money from mangoes sold, loans. How to record incomes. This column comprises incomes from occupation and other incomes. 1. Occupation. Write received money from occupation. For instance, selling vegetables, selling fruits, selling fishes, selling chickens, and so on. 2. Other incomes. Write receive money from other activities. For instance, wages, prices, loans, money withdrawal from cooperatives, banks, and so on. 3. Total of incomes. Write the total amount of incomes by combining incomes from 1 and 2. For example, on the 27th of October, 2005, receiving the wage of repairing a house, 1,000 baht, selling mangoes, 2,000 baht, loan, 1,500 baht. How to record expenses. The expenses column is divided into expenses for occupation and expenses in household. Expenses for occupation. 1. Expenses paid for occupation. The occupational cost. Write the amount of money paid for occupations such as fertilizers, rice species, fish breeds, fish food, etc. 2. Buying fixed assets. Write the amount of money paid for long-term equipment with a high price, as well as investment, i.e., buying push carts, pumps, or digging a fish pond. Expenses in household. 3 until 10. Write separately each item of expenses. This kind of expenses is not regarded as the expenses for occupation. The expenses include food, appliances, gasoline, money for children, deposits, repayment for loans, etc. 11. Total of expenses. Write down all expenses combined from 1 to 10. For example, the 27th of October 2005, paying for food 300 baht, hiring of digging a fish pond 2,000 baht, fertilizer for mango trees 400 baht. Kitchen utensils, 500 baht. How to make a total of money each month? The ended monthly, you must make a total of earnings and a total of expenses by putting the total of each column at the bottom line. Month total for name of the month. For example, making a total amount of each column, October 2005. Let's make a total of earnings in October 2005. Income from occupation, 2,000 plus 3,000 equals 5,000 baht. Other incomes, 1,000 plus 1,500 plus 1,000 equals 3,500 baht. The total of two columns, 1,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,500 plus 1,000 plus 3,000 equals 8,500 baht, which equals income from occupation plus other incomes. Next, we will make a total of expenses in October 2005. Expenses for occupation. Expenses paid for occupation starting from $400 plus 400 plus 1,000 plus 600 equals 2,400 baht. Buying fixed assets, 2,000 baht. Expense in household consisting of food, 300 baht. Appliances, 500 baht. Clothes, none. Gasoline, none. Money for children, 300 baht. Deposits, 2,000 baht. Repayment for loans, none. Miscellaneous, none. Total expenses, 300 plus 2,000 plus 400 plus 500 plus 400 plus 1,000 plus 600 plus 300 plus 2,000 equals 7,500 baht. Expenses from 1 to 10 starting from 2,400 plus 2,000 plus 300 plus 500 plus 300 plus 2,000 equals 7,500 baht. The result of this column must be the same as the total of expenses in October 2005. After that, write the result at the end of the account. Total incomes, 8,500 baht. Total expenses, 7,500 baht. If we want to know that in this month, which item of total income and expense columns is higher, we just bring the total incomes to deduct the total expenses. From this example, 8,500 baht minus 7,500 baht, then the balance is 1,000 baht. Don't forget to tick in the box "Incomes is higher than expense" and write the difference correctly, that is 1,000 baht. Occupational profits loss account. How to calculate profits and loss from occupations. Occupation costs. After the production cycle and the yields were sold, agriculturists are able to calculate their profit and loss by bringing the data recorded in the household incomes expenses account consisting of separated occupations. All details must be written down. There are 5 main elements to be recorded, namely Part 1. Occupations and incomes. Part 2. Expenses for occupations. Sales costing, average fixed assets expense per production cycle. Part 3. Remains or production factors. Part 4. Calculation of profit and loss from occupations. Part 5. Plan for occupation investment. How to record all kinds of occupations and incomes. Write occupation and incomes gained from it. For example, the agriculturist feeds fish and gets money from selling fish. 3,000 baht. The data recorded in the household incomes expenses account from the column of expenses from occupation must be written down. Put these accounts aside so that it can be checked. How to record expenses for occupations. Write only occupational expenses to be calculated in terms of profit and loss. In case that there is one item of expense with many times of paying out, the total must be done before. Apart from this, more details, if have, must be given completely as well. For example, buying fish breeds 800 baht, buying fish food 700 baht. How to calculate sale costing. Most of agriculturists use their own labor as well as their family's members. Therefore, sale costing must be included in costs for the occupation too. The labor rates depends on different locals. If people do many jobs at the same time, the calculation must be divided according to proportion of each job that needs labor. For example, sale costing for raising fish equals 500 baht. How to calculate the average fixed assets expense per production cycle. The fixed assets recorded in the column Buying fixed assets mean bought assets or built equipment, large long buildings with a high price. Hence, dividing the price of assets in period or 1 year time equally must be done according to lifetime of each asset. This is how to calculate. Average fixed assets expense per production cycle equals equipment, buildings divided by lifetime of the equipment or the buildings. For example, spending on digging a fish pond 2,000 baht. expected time of raising fish 10 times. The calculation is that 2,000 divided by 10 equals 200 baht, which is the average fixed assets expense per round. How to calculate the total cost? Now, let's conclude the total of expenses starting from 800 plus 700 plus 500 plus 200 equals 2,200 baht. The result then equals the total expenses of raising fish. Remains or production factors. After the production cycle, if we have remains such as animal food, fertilizers, and chemicals, we must identify how much the expense is so that we will deduct this from the total expense. The result shown is regarded as the actual expense of the occupation. It can help us calculate the expense accurately. For example, buying one sack of fish food 700 baht. Partly used, it remains 300 baht. Then, 300 baht will be deducted from the total expenses, 2,200 baht. 2,200 minus 300 equals 1,900 baht, which is the expense for raising fish. How to calculate profit and loss from occupation. Next on, we will learn how to calculate profit and loss from occupations. First, incomes got from occupations will be deducted from the expense for occupations. If the result is plus, it means profit. If the result is zero, it means no profit, no loss. If the result is minus, it means loss. For example, selling fish 3,000 baht minus the expense 1,900 baht. Then the result is profit 1,100 baht. How to set a plan for occupation. Owing to all results, we will get a guideline for decision-making on occupation by comparing the results with the previous plans. In order to direct the way of occupation by means of what career, its type, quantity of production, as well as procedures and implementation, we must fill in the plan of investment for occupation form and compare with the results from the actual occupations. From the template, agriculturists can compare periodically the set plans with the results of investment in occupation. For example, a plan for raising fish in one pond. The estimated expenditure 1,500 baht. Fish to be sold in September 2,000 baht and in October 1,000 baht. Total income from selling fish equals 3,000 baht. Profit equals 1,500 baht. The results from occupation investment. In the real situation, raising fish in one pond, the expenditure for this time 1,900 baht. All fish sold in September 3,000 baht. So, the total income of selling fish equals 3,000 baht. Profit equals 1,100 baht. Direction of occupation. When comparing both, the result of profit in the real situation is less than the set plan. Therefore, we have to find a way to develop our occupation or decrease expenses or increase the yield for the next chance of planning for occupation investment.